Can you feel the DNA?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
There's this is a Cambodian. It's not released. Nobody has ever smelled this oil to date. So Josh is actually the first person, apart from myself and Thomas Kruger, to actually smell this oil.
Mashallah.
Right. I don't know if Adam has smelt it in Jordan. If Kruger is watching this, go give him a swipe.
Yeah, you'll be like, stop the video.
This is Chenla by Oriscent.
Oh, mashallah.
And it is something that, to me, this is not, it's not like a Brazilian beef, as you would call a mercantile product, or, winter tires.
No.
That's what you call something that you buy and sell. Pizza dough, right? It's not that. What this is to me is that bus ride that I put Coburn and Kruger on, with all of these sacks of raw materials that we had painstakingly collected. I put them on the bus, and I was meeting them in Phnom Penh. I was flying in, they were driving with the materials on the bus, right, crossing the border. And then after we got to Phnom Penh, we went to the hotel, and then we took a truck the next day to the distillery in Kampong Spo, province of Kampong Spo. There used to be OUD there, way back, like 30 years ago or 40 years ago, Kampong Spo. Now it's just totally urbanized, And in Kampong Spo, in order to prepare these materials, what we had to do is not only grind them selectively and pairing the different batches in order to make the oil then and there at the grinders, okay, because you have different types of trees and different types of wood, and so how you compose that oil is like very similar as to what you do when you're making a perfume.
Yeah.
So you have, for example, you're going to say, I want it to open like this and then develop like this to the heart.
Yeah.
And then the base is supposed to be like this. Well, you have your ant-bitten agarwood, and you have your solid trunk agarwood, and you have your carving dust. And all of these things have different facets.
Different impacts on the end result.
So the ratios and the way you proportion these things when you grind them and the way you pair them, that's what gives you that profile that, smelling and saying, what is this? So that's how we made that oil. And then, in order to get it to my teacher in Taiwan, we had these Delzi suitcases. I have pictures of them I've shared on social media. My hotel room in Taipei full of suitcases.
Oh, the travel cart thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, not the hotel.
Full of, full of suitcases. Those are all full of ground agarwood powder, ready to go into the boilers. But do you know what it took to get them into those suitcases?
A nightmare.
It's like we have to literally jump on the suitcase.
Yeah.
Me and Kruger and Coburn, like boom, like thumping.
And then you've got to worry about the bags bursting open then as
well. Yeah. So you're trying to compress all this dust, and there's air in it, and so to squeeze it in, we managed to get, like, if I'm not mistaken, like 27 kilos in the very large ones.
So literally, that's on like the limit of what you'd be able to travel on an airplane with, in one suit, literally the limit in power.
Exactly. So we would have like 27 in the big suitcases, We had smaller, medium-sized suitcases. They would fit about 15, 16, 17 max.
Yeah.
And we had, per person, we had like 4 of these.
Yeah.
3 or 4 suitcases. Okay, so imagine now all of us.
Well, all with powder trying to go through customs.
Trying to go through customs.
Yeah.
So how am I going to get them, to have their, there's a limit that the airline places on the weight that every passenger can transport.
Even if you pay for it.
Even if you pay for it. I mean, you can't bring like 300 kilos and pay for it, right?
Yeah.
So I had to fly in my mother-in-law and sister-in-law from Singapore to Phnom Penh, just to get them to fly with me to Taiwan so I could get their check-in luggage.
Yeah.
Right, so I could get their luggage allowance. So now, the person who claims to have done the same thing, and has access to my distillery, and the same materials, can we see some pictures of your mother-in-law, flying? Fly, or who did you fly?
Yeah, let's see the dust.
Where is the dust?
Yeah.
Where is the struggle? Where is the blood? Where is the sweat? Where is the tears? Okay, there's a picture, used to be on the website for a long time. I don't know if they took it down. Myself and Adam Coburn, completely drenched in sweat, and covered in dust, and we're just standing there after having done this entire
it's in the distillery. And Adam looks knackered, bless him.
Exactly, exactly. So, I mean, these are not things that you can forget. These experiences, these are things these are life-changing experiences. Like it's like you're going on a mission, and you have no solace except Allah.
Yeah. You're putting your trust in Allah completely.
You're praying. You're praying fervently the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh Allah, please make this possible. Don't let them bust us. Don't let them take our dust.
And everything's on the edge constantly. So many things can go wrong. But in the end, it comes together.
But then, how do you get? Now, let me ask you this: how do you get dust on a plane? Those suitcases that heavy in Cambodia. How do you do that?
With customs as well. I mean, very difficult.
We had the head manager of the Phnom Penh International Airport personally escort us on the plane. Yeah. And his helpers escort our suitcases. You know how much we have to pay to do that?
Yeah, I can imagine. It
and that's like, I mean, that's also an emotional and a monetary and a spiritual cost. Yeah. Pulling that off, because you're begging this guy, right?
Yeah. And they could so easily just say, no, and it's ruined.
Yeah, he could tell you, sorry, I'm not going to lose my job. I'm not going to help you. I mean, I'm trying to explain that. Look, this is totally safe.
It's fine.
It's just tree dust. We're only going to distill it. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah. And then think what happened when we got to Taipei.
And then you got to go through it again.
Customs in Taipei, right?
Yeah.
They just pulled me up one time. They're like, "We want to check your suitcases." I'm like, "Okay." They opened everything.
Well,
and they're like full of dust, and they looked like it was like their celebration day, right?
Yeah.
We busted this guy.
This guy with something he shouldn't be bringing in.
Who knows what kind of drugs he's got inside his powder?
Exactly, Literally just filled to the brim. This is the biggest haul we're going to ever have into the country. Yeah.
So they bring the supervisor of Taipei Customs. And she's like, "What's this?" I said, "This is aromatic wood for incense making and oil making and so forth." And she checked it. She says, "Oh, this is totally okay. You can go." Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, thank God."
It's brilliant. When it works out like that, I imagine it's just like, yes.
I thought. I mean, I was about to have a heart attack.
Yeah, just like.
Are they going to send me to jail? Are they going to take my dust? Are they going to destroy the materials?
Because you don't know, you're at the power of another country and you don't know how things work.
Are they going to put me back on the same plane I came on?
Back, and then you're going to have to go through it again.
Deport me, and then I have to find someone else to do it because there's no way they're going to let me in.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it's like hanging on a string, at the thread of a hair, and everything is in the hands of God to help you. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. Yeah. It's one of those kind of scenarios, one of those missions that, it takes every single time to pull these things off. So when I hear people say, and this is what I'm circling back to, that this is the same oil as Ensar, it's the same distillery, and the same product, and I'm like, okay, that's...
it's not possible.
It's a lie.
Yeah. It's not possible.
It's just a lie. Don't get suckered and don't get taken for a ride, because nobody can give you the same oil. Even my own distiller. If you went to him, say, "Give me the same oil," he'd say, "That's that guy. That's that guy's oil, and no one in the world can give you that because no one has that material." And he told me when we distilled this oil, chenla, that you're smelling. Yeah. He said, we have not distilled oil of this caliber in this distillery for decades. For decades. In a long time. Right?
It's really creamy.
So what do you think?
But it's almost like it's got that Nha Trang quality, you know, that Vietnamese like bitterness sort of to it. Creamy.
There's going to be an Indo-Chinese thread that runs through any
there
oil.
There is a slight purple. You know, like if you know, like with purple Keen Arm, you get that sort of purpleness. I don't know why.
I get more of a blueness personally.
Yeah.
Almost like purple Keen Arm.
Like an aquatic sort of.
Totally different.
Slightly aquatic quality.
Yeah. So purple Keen Arm is actually from East Malaysia, right? So it's from Borneo Island. And it's technically a Borneo oil. You know, it is Malaysian, but it is from Sarawak and Sabah.
Yeah,
right? Sabah,
so it's the same island, isn't it?
Same island.
Yeah.
Different trees, totally different trees. And I have oils from West Malaysia that have the same profile, right? So the trees are pretty much the same family in Malaysia, right? But this is the thread that runs through this is that bitter, kinamic, medicinal, Indo-Chinese profile that you can find, you know, permeating and going through the finest, like Burmese oils from Michina, for example, Hong Kong, Vietnam, and of course Cambodia, right? So there is Kinam that was harvested in Cambodia, and this is known as Cambodia Kinam. I have wood that is Cambodia Kinam, a few slabs of it, from the collection of Sultan Qaboos. And it is exactly the same smell as this.
For me, it's the effect it has on you more than anything. That even goes greater than the smell, and that's how you know, right? This is good. This is good stuff. Where it sort of like goes up your nose, goes into your brain, and just goes down your spine and into your stomach, and it just relaxes you.
Yeah.
Completely zens you and chills you out completely.
Yeah.
And that's a thread that I get across all of the Oriscent oils. And I think maybe that's that, you know, that consistent DNA that you was maybe talking about earlier, that is within the oils, where it's just a complete relaxing quality that I only really get with the Oriscent grade of oils.
Yeah, yeah.